bottom line is the National Hurricane Center forecast is better than any model. So looking at models to try and sort out, okay, what's the real story? I mean, I've been asked for years and years, which one do you look at? No, I look at the National Hurricane Center because they've sorted through it. I mean, not that I don't look at models to understand the bigger picture for what I do on television, but that's the bottom line. The spaghetti models are decoration, but they really don't give you any information. The National Hurricane Center forecast gives you the best information. Now, unfortunately, in this country, we don't start putting out alerts until there's a watch at 48 to 60 hours. In the Bahamas and Cuba, they have a third level of alert. I would like to see us move to that because things are so much more complicated at the coast now that we need people to be paying attention prior to a watch and have official information before that. But in any case, as far as where the storm is going to go, where the center of it's going to go, the National Hurricane Center forecast is the best model that you can look at.
I'm going to set Mary up here. There's two people that you need to know and you need to trust inside of your county, wherever that's at, as we're broadcasting across the state. The number one person you need to look at is the TV meteorologist that you know and trust, that you have if that relationship is every night on your TV at 6:15 or whatever that is, get that person, tune into that individual. And then the second one, and I can't tell you who my favorite is because I got a lot of friends that are meteorologists. So the second one is your local emergency manager. Those are the two people you really have got to pay attention to when there is a threat, a weather threat or a man-made threat, if you will. You've got to listen to that local emergency manager because they're the ones that are going to be making those decisions and activating what it is that you're going to do. Mary?
No, and I would agree with that. And I have great relationships with our local meteorologists. Every single one of them on our local networks, I could call every one of them right now on their cell phones and they would pick up. Because you don't let me in your bedroom at night when you're laying there watching the news, but you listen to your chief meteorologist of your favorite station. So we're constantly communicating, having that information, and when they're getting ready to go on their broadcast, believe it or not, they'll shoot me a text and say, remind me what this means. Do we put the bridges up? Do we put the bridges down? And we have that communication back and forth. So if you're getting your information from trusted sources like that, just know they're communicating to us as well. So I want you to know that. But if you hear something from our local EOC, a message, just know that a lot of background information has gone into it. But if you're getting your information from your local meteorologist, just know that they're in contact with us as well.
Okay, let me say one more thing I wanted to add. So I don't, by the way, most people don't think of it this way, but I don't forecast where the hurricane's going. I use the National Hurricane Center forecast, and my job is to explain it in a way that people understand it and the reasoning behind it, because it's very technical. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of data to sort through, right? If you just read the advisories on the National Hurricane Center website that millions of people do, and that's good, but then they come to people like me or the local meteorologist to understand what it means, understand the background, understand how is this different, how is this the same, and so forth. So that's what I have always thought my role as it's not to say I think the storm is going here, even though they say it's going here, because we don't know where it's going exactly. So even if I think, well, I probably would have made it a little left, who cares? Because nobody is sure, right? So that's what my role is, to interpret and explain and provide perspective on what their forecast is. They are the best in the world at it, so I let them do that. And there's plenty for me to do to support that.
And Tommy and Jamie, what do you use? I know FPL for sure has an in-house meteorologist. I mean, are you guys making your own forecasts? Are you?
Very similarly, the National Hurricane Center is the expert and we do use that. But just like you explain, our in-house meteorologists take that information, they decode it for us, explain it so that we can make decisions on, how many crews we might need to bring in. We're able to feed that national hurricane forecast, both the track, the intensity, and the wind fields that are being forecast into a damage model that we have that can predict what type of damage might it cause to our infrastructure in that area, and what would we need to restore that. That helps us make decisions ahead of time. We are in Florida, we are a peninsula here, so it's important that we're not only collaborating with the other utilities here in the state of Florida, but also in the southeast and if necessary, depending on the storm, across the country, that we're able to get men and women that can help us restore quickly. And we need to get those men and women down here ahead of the storm, make sure that they are staged safely, and that they're ready to help us get power back on as immediately when it's safe to do so.
Yeah. And Tommy, are you talking to the, what does happen? Does the National Weather Service talk to you directly? Is there someone staged at the Lake Worth Drainage District or the Hurricane Center?
No, we follow the forecast of the Hurricane Center, but because our drainage network is intertwined with the primary drainage system that the South Florida Water Management District operates, they have meteorologists in their operations control center, and we communicate with them daily. They issue what they call a quantitative precipitation forecast, which they estimate how many inches of rain are going to occur over the next 5 days at specific locations in South Florida. And then together, we work how we're going to operate our systems in tandem. We don't want to dump too much water on them that they aren't prepared for. So it's sort of like we're both driving a vehicle together, and we want to make sure we're communicating both on the forecast, but also our reaction to that forecast.